So ultimately, this idea that I had that was lost due to dead battery was amazing. It had to do with different types of whales and bears. Okay, so full disclosure, what I wanna try to accomplish, and people, there will be the naysayers, and I understand there will be criticisms, but I want to develop a saddle, a harness for a whale, specifically a blue whale, a gigantic one, largest animal that has ever lived, period. It was in our time with us, bigger than sauropods, this animal, right? It dives down to the abyss and returns. And so what I would do is make a little, very, very lightweight little backpack for him. And you kind of like hold on to the back of it. It would be knit. And so you and the blue whale would travel together. And he'll take you to his habitat, which is just the giant, dark, open ocean, but you got a whale with you, and he knows where he's going, right? Or she, or they, etc. Just your whale, you know? It can be like any, but you know, you would develop a relationship with your whale, and it would be like a saddle on a horse, or like a harness on a dog, and it would go around as flippers. So you kind of get it around as flippers, and you have like a whale harness, right? And it goes around like the whale's torso. And then on the back of it, that's where you keep everything you need to live. So your seaweed, etc. You may need some kind of, I was thinking about like some kind of dome, but then I realized it would mess with the whale, because he would have to carry this like bubble deep into the abyssal zone. It would be very, very heavy, but to the up. And then I thought, what if just screw the dome entirely and just have this tiny little helmet that you have so that you can breathe as the whale goes about, because the whale probably doesn't need to get oxygen for another 30, 40 years. He'll come back up. So you have to figure out how to survive in the whale's environment. Like how deep does he go? What's the pressure down there? We don't know. Or we probably do know. We actually likely have that information. So, it gets easier and easier as you strategize how you just have to find a whale, which isn't hard. They're in the ocean. That's it. They're in the ocean. Yeah. That's all you gotta really worry about whales, you go out in the ocean, maybe you throw a giant salmon or whatever they eat, a krill, find some krill, krill is probably relatively easy to find unless it's like in short supply, which it could be, I'm not in the ocean, but I know the ocean, there's a lot of bleaching, there's a lot of lost coral, a lot of gases. A lot of humanity is big. Humanity is industrial, and humanity is producing a lot of waste. And it's not going to stop. Like, humanity was already aware that we're fucking up the planet and we need to, fix all this shit. And now we're leaping into our next big, gigantic, huge phase of technology and just plowing forward. And really, humanity cannot be stopped. You would have to do crazy shit to stop humanity, which is a fact. I'm not saying you should want to stop humanity or not want to stop humanity, either way. I'm not weighing in on your decision making, but were I to, I would certainly be in the what am I talking about? Getting humanity on board with something or other. I don't know. I have to recollect for a minute. It had to do with some kind of apocalyptic scenario with humanity. Humanity is driving itself to that. Okay, that's fine, and you can't stop humanity from that, actually. But we can't say with certainty, because in every time period, Everyone always thinks this is it, the apocalypse, and then it just isn't. It's just more this. So like, but you know, we do have climate breakdown. It could be like a huge, massive, crazy event that's coming next, and people will look at our time and say, oh, how simple they had it. Just like we looked that way with 2005, which at one time would have just been unimaginable, like in 1995, for example. Which is fine. Hold up. I had some point. I don't know. Humanity was driving it. So whether or not it's your responsibility to stop humanity, how did I get on that? Why was I weighing in on whether or not my viewers need to stop humanity or simply allow it to continue to consume resources on the planet from which it spawned here, and create new mega disasters as it goes. And that's simply what can happen in the cosmic garden of the universe, is that like some gorilla comes out and says, hey, let's build cities instead. So this was from an earlier thought. This is about gorillas.